And welcome to another Round the Rotary with me, your host, JP Warren. And with us today, we got Tyler Thomason, the VP of Operations at Encore Permian Operating. But before we get kicked off and have him say hello, I got to say that Round the Rotary podcast is brought to you by Capital Petroleum Consultants. CPC specialize in project engineering and well site supervision in all disciplines of the oil and gas industry. Contact us through www.capitalpetroleumconsultants.com to see what CPC can do for you today.
Hey JP,
Was that pretty good?
yeah, that was great, man.
Here.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. I'm actually kind of excited about this because this is one of those things where it's like, it's kind of a good podcast to do because right now we're sitting in actually another company's, Petro Legacy's office. Jason Churchill let us.
Oh, yeah. And thank you, Jason, for giving us your house today.
Yeah, for a little bit. But the good part is, though, my wife and I were able to come to Austin for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We're excited. I'm excited to meet her, and we'll meet her later this evening and stuff. And happy Q4. Today is number one.
Today's
day.
Q4?
Q4, October 1st.
It's been a rolling long stagnant week since March, I feel like.
Yeah, it's been a quick week.
Yeah, I'm ready for quick. I don't know about you for quick. It's been kind of long for me, man. So
this is the fastest year I feel like this. It just blew by. I mean, people can say it's been slow and fast. I don't know.
But you know what? But you know what sucks about it though? It's like you're trying to, catch up with people, and it's like, hey man, that's what's been going on. Like, there's nothing to catch up on. You're like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's not. We haven't taken any trips. We haven't done this. We haven't done that. We haven't checked out any new restaurants. Like, there's nothing to talk about right now besides the current political shitstorm that we're in right now with all the static and the news. But hey, we're getting into that a little bit. Let's talk shop first, and let's kind of go into some other stuff, kind of off the script. Why don't you give us a little background about kind of who you are, where you're from, and where you're at today?
Yeah, thanks. So grew up in Houston on the northwest side in Spring. Shout out Spring, we Klein Collins. I went to LSU in Baton Rouge. I had some friends that went there. Don't ask me how. Everyone's like, "How'd your family go there?" No.
Dude, people ask me about that about Texas A&M. Like, as I told you, I grew up in Connecticut, and it was like, "Well, what brought you to A&M?" You're like, "I don't know, man. It was just."
It's a school nearby.
Yeah, well, it wasn't nearby for me. I was in Connecticut.
I thought you were in Houston already.
No,
okay,
I just always wore like the Texas A&M hats and stuff like that. So it was kind of like, I don't know. I just applied and I went there.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing holding me there.
Yeah.
But the funny part is, though, my Aggie ring says class of 02, and my dad retired.
Uh-huh.
He went to A&M to get his doctorate.
Oh, no way.
So his ring says 04.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right.
It's
you
kind of
got
interesting.
a couple years on your dad then.
Yeah, I know. I got to teach him a thing or two about a thing or two. So anyway, keep going. LSU, no clue.
Yeah, so we kind of showed up there. A friend of mine at the time, whose dad was pretty high up at Apache, or actually one of the predecessors of Apache, said, "You need to get into petroleum engineering." I was like, okay, well, I'll do engineering, maybe mechanical or something. Then I started to realize that mechanical, you're pretty, you could go into any industry, I feel like, with mechanical. But I just wasn't that kind of engineer. I wasn't programmed like a mechanical engineer. There's differences,
Well, how old were you when he suggested the petroleum?
18. So,
really?
I mean, coming out of high school, I didn't know what I was going to do.
Dude, I still don't know what I want to do.
I don't either.
I know.
We're here.
Yeah, I know. Great. So let's figure it out. Maybe by the end of the podcast, we'll figure out what we want to do.
Yeah, I'll grab my pen. But so anyways, LSU went well. I went the victory lap, as many do. I worked every summer and Christmas, actually. It was crazy. He actually helped me out get some Christmas work, which was really nice. Really humbled by that.
There's no holidays in the oil field.
No. And so, anyways, kind of came out of worked for a few companies. Each summer throughout LSU. One was Halliburton. One was Devon. One was EOG.
What were these jobs? Christmas jobs.
The first one was a company called Mariner, and that was one of the predecessors of Apache, or one of the I guess the acquisitions. And it was working with their offshore deepwater production crew.
Okay.
And it was more file room stuff. I mean, I was just like trying to learn.
Were you going offshore at the time?
No, so it wasn't even that. So it was with their deepwater crew in Houston. So I worked there, and then the next summer was Halliburton as a frac and cement crew guy. So a tech engineer intern. So
yeah.
That was cool. I mean, that was like the learning experience that was hey, this is like the real no sleep job. Like, it's a cement crew. You'll get home, back to the yard, get in your truck, drive an hour back to your apartment. I take my contact lenses out, get in bed, and get dispatch call, hey, we need you out. I'm like, no way. And then put my contacts back in, dink, dink, get in the truck, drive another hour back to the yard, get in the truck, and go for 48 hours with, like, I don't know when I'm going to sleep, because when we get there, we rig up, and you're at the mercy of the rig.
Yeah.
You know when you're going to.
But man, I gotta say, man, that's such a good experience. Yeah. I mean, not only are you kind of getting closest to the the wellhead, what you're doing right there is you're kind of getting an appreciation for everyone out there that is busting their ass, working 24 hours around the clock.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool experience that now you can kind of relate and kind of see through their eyes.
Yeah, and it's one of those things I feel like. You got to do it to understand the work, and you got to learn a lot of the terms and the methods out there, and things that they don't do today anymore because of safety reasons.
Yeah.
I feel kind of blessed to be able to have done that. Yeah. But so anyways, that was the second summer, and then the third one was EOG, which was, as I'll go into in a minute, that was my first full-time gig.
Mm-hmm.
But EOG, great company. There was a recruiter at the time, and she was wonderful. She found a lot of engineers that we had real similar personalities, real go-getters, but like easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Our GPAs weren't the highest, I could say.
You're going after the personality versus the academic success.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't even, I'll put it out there now. It's on record. My GPA wasn't even a 3.0. It was.
Okay, we'll edit that later.
I'm proud to say it because, I feel like it didn't matter in the long run that much for me, at least. I know for some people it may. But anyways, back to the EOG deal. She did a great job of recruiting a lot of people. We're all still friends today. Every one of us. Our wives are still friends today. So that was kind of the intern deal. And then my fourth summer was with Devon Energy downtown Houston.
Yeah. Okay.
Before they moved Devon back to and consolidated all to OKC. That was their offshore or.
What year was that?
2009 was that summer.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it was during that kind of downturn dip after the 07, 08 kind of deal. So that was the Devon deal, and then I went back to EOG like, hey, no, like I'm glad I tried another company after EOG because they always want you to go try more stuff if you haven't had enough. If you're all EOG. They would want you, hey, no, go check out another company to see if that's what you really want to come back to us. And I was just there 1 year. But after Devon, I was like, you know what? I like the EOG group. I want to go back. And I barely slipped in, I feel like, 2010. It was right after Macondo. Yeah. The industry was kind of pulling back a little bit. Not a full cycle downturn, but it was a little one even after the 08 stuff. And, got in. Went back to Tyler, Texas. That's where I did the intern, and they said, you can have a job there. And I was like, yes, all right, cool. I went back. Same people as when I was an intern. Been a couple years, right?
Oh, so is that why you were excited about it? Because you knew your team that you were kind of stepping into, and you knew the crew?
Yeah, I knew the crew, and it's been a couple years. It's like, man, I haven't talked to you in forever, and I had an internship with a different company since last time I saw you, but I'm here now full time, and kind of did my engineer rotation there. And did some reservoir engineering, field production stuff for about a year, enough to get dangerous kind of in each one, drilling for a little bit, completions, and then some of the high pressure like workover stuff, like kind of high. We'd be having to mud up on a workover, which I don't, no one likes to do, but you'd be at like 15, 16 pound mud on some Haynesville wells.
Okay.
Fresh off flow back, had problems like casing leaks or something like that. Had to go fix those.
So was this idea for you to do completions, productions, reservoir, was this your idea to do, or is this one of the things that the company
The company pushed.
Okay.
But then you kind of tell them, hey, I want to end on this one. And I did. I ended on kind of the completion stuff and workover, high risk workover stuff. And that was in 2012. And in conjunction with that, my wife today, Michelle, we started dating at that time, and I was like, man, I need to get out of Tyler because she was living in Houston.
Okay.
I was like, I need, if I want to marry this girl, I got to leave Tyler, right? I need to like get closer, some city, right? Because it's a smaller town, and I didn't want to be there forever. First off, but it was tough to leave Tyler. I wanted to, but it was tough. The company needed me there. And I said, guys, this Eagleford thing's blowing up. It was 2012. I was like, dude, I want to get down to San Antonio. That's where our San Antonio division popped up when I was there. So I told my wife, or my, at the time, almost fiance, Michelle, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to San Antonio, and then we could move there and, start our lives and stuff.
Right. And so you start planning it out.
Yeah. So I drove down. I took a day off from work, quote unquote, on a Monday, and I drove to the San Antonio group, and I said, hey, do y'all need, I basically pitched myself because the group in East Texas didn't want to let me go.
Okay.
It's almost like, there is an awesome company where they're each division's like a different company within. So I went down to South Texas. I said, hey, I'd love to come down. And one of my bosses, who ended up being my boss, was like, oh yeah, bud, we got room. Come on down. I go, is that it? That's it? I just drove down on Monday.
Did this piss anyone off? And
it did, yeah.
Okay. Looking back, would you have done anything differently?
No. This was it. Like, it was this, or I'm like figuring something out. Because my wife, or future wife at the time, it was like in my head, I got to leave, to pursue this life, with my wife. And so I wanted to move to a city.
Yeah.
And so we moved to San Antonio. She moved with promises to her parents. I was going to propose. I ended up proposing later that year. We got engaged.
And you were doing Eagleford completions?
Yep, just straight completions
Okay.
now. Boom, completions team.
What drew you to completions versus the other disciplines?
It was, I guess it was kind of one of the sexy disciplines. If you frack a well, you can drill a well, you get under AFE, awesome. Your day curve looks awesome. Move to the next well, and that's kind of your footprint, right? You're done. You're targeting, obviously. But then completions is like, hey, let's adjust this, let's tweak some knobs. And then production can obviously affect the well performance, but completion was like the big daddy could change well performance, And it's all a team, I'm not discounting any of the other disciplines. Just for me at the time, I was like, man.
No, I mean, everyone's got their passion. Everyone's got their calling, and I guess to you, it's the aspect of you actually kind of, fine tuning something, and your decisions actually kind of, do a little bit here, might affect this a lot here. It's kind of like a composer.
Yeah. And a lot of companies were doing similar things at the exact same time as us. We were doing slick water and then 100 mesh. A lot of other teams and other companies were doing similar things and stuff. We were in there. We were one of the first movers. EOG, obviously, It's got a great name. I don't mean to keep pitching that name, but they're a great company.
It's part of your past, buddy.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Well, I know.
It's okay.
Some people, but they're did completions for about 5 years, and that last year we started. I had an area that was my area, and some Buddha wells came up, and then some Austin Chalk opportunities came up. And they were like, hey, you do the Buddha wells in your area, why don't you do that? I was like, cool. Okay, so I started doing that. And then I became the engineer that was the not Eagleford engineer. So any well, any zone that wasn't Eagleford, like, they kind of came to me. So that big Austin Chalk play in Karnes County kind of popped up that a lot of people are still playing in. And there were a couple other movers at the same time, but they said, Tyler, we want you to complete these. And it wasn't rocket science. It was similar, but it was cool to be on that new team, moving around in this new team with this new asset, kind of moving around and making some huge wells, like quick payouts, like stupid payouts. And then, upper management called and said, hey, we're going to need you to move to Midland. And I felt it, you can feel it.
It's just like walking. If you're looking at houses, you walk in a house and you feel like, this isn't our house, or this kind of feel. Yeah, it's a gut. It's an instinct.
Yeah. So I got that call, and I had kind of prefaced my wife at the time, and we had a son by that time. His name is Camden. He's a great kid. I love him.
What's up, Camden?
Yeah. I got a daughter now, too. I'll get to in a minute. But anyways, we got the call. We drove to Midland with my son in the car late one night after dinner with my aunt and uncle in San Antonio.
Yeah.
We drove, and driving in, you see the flares at night, you get a little excited, a little adrenaline, like, yes.
This is real. This is the oil field.
Yeah. This was late 2017, and I heard all this, buzz in the Permian. I'd never done anything Permian, so it was intimidating. And we drive in, we get there, go to the hotel. The next day, We get up and do the real estate stuff, look for houses, and then we go.
What was the housing market like back then?
It was I couldn't tell you on a dollar per square foot.
No.
It was
Was there a lot of houses available, or was it just tight?
No. It was like, hey, find 5 and for this trip, and put an offer today, or you don't get it.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I was trying.
It's pretty hot. Yeah. So, but we found a great house. Love it. Still kind of miss it in some ways. But that night had dinner with the VP of that division, and who's in charge, and he made us feel a little more comfortable and said, all right, when we put an offer on this house, got it, moved there for a couple years, started hitting every bench in the Delaware Basin for EOG, and kind of moved from completions engineer to like team lead. So completions team lead. So we had a Texas and New Mexico group.
Okay.
That's kind of how they divided.
So it's an advancement in your career where you actually have a more scope, kind of a higher view of the operation.
Yeah. And, awesome team over there.
Did you like that?
Every one of them. Which part of it?
I mean, just kind of being the team lead. I mean, is that something that you wanted, or is it kind of, did you miss kind of getting down in the trenches a little bit?
It was, I love the trenches. That's kind of where I'm at now too. But I love it. But at the same time, you love seeing people excel too that haven't had that experience yet. So you kind of, you flourish watching other people flourish. So that's kind of when I started to turn towards, okay, this is cool. Like, this is a leadership role. I've never seen that before.
Did you have any mentors before that, like that you kind of wanted to style your leadership?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
I guess a couple bosses in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I always watched them and felt warm after a meeting. They were leading a meeting, and just when we leave, I'm like, man, I'd do anything for that guy. Just his attitude.
Mentorship. I mean, it's so crucial. It's like it's not just being someone's boss or being someone's manager. It's kind of like being that like teacher.
Yeah.
There's always that one or two teachers that like, that person really motivated me. Like the mentorship, I mean, there's a lot to say to that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a cool experience, becoming team lead. And then shortly after, I started getting some calls from the Lux Energy Group.
Okay.
Guys that had Lux for a few years in acquisition mode, but then started saying, okay, we're going to operate. So they needed a.
So what year was this?
This was early, like January 2018.
Okay.
So kind of right after that, I moved. So maybe I said my dates wrong. We moved to Midland late 2016. Yeah, late 2016. I think I said 2017, but
okay.
Late 2016 was kind of the go to Midland deal. Then this company out of Austin, we always thought we could never live in a cooler city than San Antonio,
which is pretty. San Antonio's a pretty cool city.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so awesome, and the fact that oil and gas is kind of almost like a side industry. Houston, it's energy capital.
That's it.
In San Antonio, it's mostly military.
Dallas is what, like finance a little bit?
Yeah, finance.
Oil and gas on
the Fort Worth side of Dallas, I guess.
Commercial real estate. I feel like it's like a commercial. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But got this call. I'm like, man, this might be a real deal. We can move to Austin. That's awesome, And my folks actually just started building, or actually we're planning to build near Canyon Lake, about 45 minutes south of here.
Okay.
We're like, man, we got these 2 kids now, or about to have our second kid at this time.
Okay.
And so started talking.
Did you reach out to them, or they reach out to you?
They called me. They needed a completions guy and a drilling guy, and they found both me and another guy for each of those disciplines, and said, yeah, let's do it. Started in March 2018 with Lux, and that same week I left, EOG was the same week my daughter was born. Her name's Chandler. She's a sweet girl, and so after that, we stuck around in Midland, for 4 months. That was, as I worked for Lux, I was kind of like the only guy in Midland for Lux, and I thought, okay, why unplug if you're already here? So
right.
I used that as my advantage. Okay, let's stay here. Let's have meetings in person, multiple meetings per day, so I can meet and get up to speed on the whole process. And then after 4 months in June 2018, we moved to Austin here. So we're here now, and did completions for Lux. We had a lot of really good wells and stuff, but this downturn obviously bit us a little bit.
Yeah.
we rolled up under another private equity portfolio, a piece, and then a few of us from Lux spun off and kind of jumped on with Encore Permian. And these guys are awesome, great team. We actually just met with them yesterday. They flew down from Midland, and we spent the whole day yesterday team building on Lake Austin on a boat. And our VP of exploration, his family's got a house there, and we just parked there and played cornhole and boated and did rope swings by the 360 bridge.
You need to do stuff like that during these times, man.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of team building. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people talking, being around, people having fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's important in people and teams also. I mean, coming through this dumpster fire we're in right now, especially in our industry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, going back to I want to continue this, but kind of going back, what would you say kind of helped you out for Lux to reach out to you? I mean, what was it, your position, or was it just kind of like, what would you say kind of helped you out?
So it was actually a reference. So they called one of my buddies, who's at an E&P right now. He was kind of their first call, and he goes, "Man, I'm good right now. Thanks for the offer, but you might want to call Tyler."
Okay.
And said, "Really? You sure? You sure he wants to leave? He seems like he's doing good over there." "No, you'd be surprised. Why don't you give him a call?" They gave me a call, and I'm always open for any opportunity.
Right.
I'm not looking, right? Obviously, but I like hearing everything, right?
You're not gonna not talk to someone.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Whatever, your dreams, anything, So it was basically a reference from one of my buddies, which
networking.
Yeah, so I'm kind of forever grateful for that, because without that I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, and I love it. So great team too we're on.
So Encore Permian
operating.
So when did that? So when did you go over there?
So left. You're gonna laugh. Left Lux. That was kind of they told me, "Hey, this is your last day." It was July 10th, last day. I actually worked for another E&P as a consultant for a week, and then jumped on first week of August. So I had a few weeks of off time, I guess, there. Planning, having fun with the family,
right,
and things like that, and planning too. I started an LLC. In that time period, I was like, I can't sit still. I gotta keep moving. So I started an LLC called CT Evolution, and it's basically for oil field tools, and it's more on the invention side of things. I'm in the process of patenting one of them right now.
Okay.
Almost to the finish line there. And then also kind of as the LLC goes, you can kind of tack on anything. So I've got like a book I'm working on, like a children's book.
Well, hold on a second. You can't brush over that. Talk to me about this kid's book.
Yeah. So I still haven't figured out the name for it, and I don't want to go too much.
Don't give the secrets out.
Well, it's not a secret, but it's a kid's book. It's supposed to be kind of a bedtime story about two kids about energy. All the types of energy. We've got books that are like renewables.
Yeah.
We have there's one out there called Goodnight Drilling Rig.
Yes,
that's a good book.
Was that Oilfield Helping Hands, right?
Yep.
And then also Ulterra's got Benny the Bit.
Yeah.
The little kids thing to speak to the children about kind of the oil and gas industry.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of oil and gas industry or just energy in general, but this one would be kind of like unbiased. I'm biased, I guess, in my head, but in oil and gas, we as an industry obviously work for oil and gas, but we're all for renewables too. I mean, we're not, just
we're not anti-renewables.
Yeah, we want all that to evolve. It's just right now it's tough to make that 100% feasible, but that's another story, I guess. But it goes over basically all of the types of energy you can get, and I've illustrated it too. I'm in the process of doing the watercolors now.
Okay.
So I've drawn them and traced them and did all the placement and everything. So
how many pages is this?
It's not gonna be a lot. Kids book, nighttime book. As a parent, you don't want to be reading a 400-page story to
No,
a
as a
kid.
parent, I mean, at the end of the day, with young kids, you want to read like a 4-page, like 30-word max book.
So Dr. Seuss's books are like 60 pages. Have you noticed that? They're short words, but I mean, I'm flipping 30 pages.
Oh, I know. I know. Your kid brings it to you, and you're like, oh, Dr. Seuss, I'm going to knock this out in 7 minutes tops. Next thing you know, you're like, holy shit, I'm not even halfway through this thing.
Horton hears a who?
Yeah.
What else does he hear?
Yeah, Horton, what else did you hear throughout the entire day that you can sit here and tell me about? Because I'm so interested in what you heard.
Yeah. So anyways, I think it's going to be like 8 or 9.
Cool, man.
I guess it's got to be an even number, whatever. But it's 8 to 10 pages.
Well, the first page you can dedicate it to, I don't know, Round the Rotary or something like that. So you can do 9 pages.
Yeah, CPC, or brought to you by CPC.
There you go. So that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
What kind of gave you that idea?
So I think that's probably a long-term dream. I want to own my own company. Maybe not in the NP, maybe a service company. Start oilfield tools and things like that.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Well, so actually going back to Lux Energy, I had this really cool opportunity. They, a lot of oil companies rent tools and things long-term, and we as a business plan on the side said, hey, let's start a small service company. And we did that, and I was the one to run it because I was using most of this stuff.
So you had fun doing that?
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. And it saved us a lot of money, and it saved our interest owners, working interest owners, a lot of money too. Anyways, that kind of gave me like the confidence to say, man, you can do this, Tyler. Come on, you can do this. And then, started LLC on the plan of that, and got this thing kind of going. And so anyways, in between jobs, kind of came up with this idea and got it kind of rolling. And
Okay.
But the book thing, I like to be creative. Obviously, you got the guitar here.
Right. No, we're going to get into the guitar in a little bit. So I'm going to keep talking about this book and the LLC, kind of what different other things you're kind of dipping your toe in.
Well, also too, when I worked between Lux and then Encore, I worked as a consultant, and I needed a way to, kind of document that, financially. And I was like, I got to start some kind of LLC, And I guess I didn't have to, but I like that. I'm organized. I just wanted to be. And so I started that. And CT, that's my kids' initials, Camden Thomason and Chandler Thomason. And so CT, it made it equal to both of them.
No fighting.
Which one is it?
Yeah. Who did Dad love best? Y'all figure it out.
Yeah. But no, I just said, hey, now's the time. Do it.
Yeah.
If people, there's a lot of people out there right now that, there's a lot of talent out there right now that jobs are slowing down or coming to an end and stuff like that. And for me, coming to an end was a blessing, because you can't start any kind of intellectual property inventions. You can't start thinking until you're done with a job, or that.
Yeah, it gets very legal.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, you used our Wi-Fi. That's only 7% of it. No, but I mean, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit, because there's a lot of people right now, I feel, that are out there that either are kind of in an opportunity, I don't want to say opportunity, but they're in a situation where it's like, and it could be an opportunity.
Yeah.
They're in a situation where it's like either their job ended, or maybe they're seeing the writing on the wall that it's just not going to be working out. So, I mean, did you do a lot of, are you naturally like this, or you just kind of just jump in like, you know what, I need an LLC, I'm just going to figure it out as I get into it?
Yeah. Yeah, and the Lux Energy team, when I was there, that I learned that from them. If I wasn't there, I don't think I would have done that.
Just jump in and just figure it out.
Yeah, so that job forced me to like really be uncomfortable in my like work ethic. You get I'm real detail oriented, and that made me bend so much that job, because you have to let go, right?
Yeah.
And you let go to grow. So I was letting go a lot, and I had this huge momentum, huge workload. Work ethic, and then boom, it ended, and we were kind of handing over to the new asset operators, but it ended, and I'm like, dude, I got all this momentum, I got to keep rolling with something.
Okay.
And I was like, this is a perfect time, let's just do it and let's grind. So I had my home office, because we were all kind of working from home. Still grinded every day, didn't stop at the business hours. I just kept grinding and working on art, reading, talking to people, got my earbuds, boom, 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 talking to people and stuff, and keeping in touch. Hey, what's your next move? And just feeling out the industry.
And so during this time where you got all this momentum, you're working from home, you're kind of focused, on several different things. When did I guess your old colleagues reach out to you about Encore Permian?
So yeah, our COO, I report to him. He's my boss, Ted Williams. He reached out. He goes, "Hey man, would you be interested in this?" And I'm always skeptical first because with just the state of everything and my personality, I'm always like, okay, try to figure out what's wrong. I'm an engineer, right? Just got to figure out what's wrong.
Right.
Which is I don't like that, but
but it's critical. But you also another thing is about you trust your gut.
Yeah.
On things. Yeah. You can't analysis paralysis. You can't figure out all the details. You trust your gut as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he did a lot of the leg work. He's like, man, we can do this. And he was motivating me before we even started. I was like, yeah, let's do this and stuff. And I was like,
so when was
amped.
this?
This was in July, like after the Lux deal when I was done. And he goes, man, let's do this. I guess it was kind of towards the end there. But
so you had about 2.5 weeks where it's just you blowing and going at the house. Just
yeah.
Kind of, okay, cool.
Yeah, and setting everything up and made sure that when I was at Encore Permian, just making sure, hey, if I can't keep rolling this invention stuff in my LLC, is that going to affect anything, stuff like that. So that's all technicalities now. But it was like blowing and going for a couple weeks. And
was that tough?
What?
I mean, I just think like starting an LLC or just like thinking of, I want to do this. I just feel like the legal and the trademark, whatever it is, I just feel it's such a process. But is it?
So no, it's not real. It's not really that much, really. It's a lot of on the phone with legal.
Okay.
It's a lot of that and explaining what you're inventing. But they actually you go back and forth on documents and stuff, and then once they have it, you do drawings and stuff. And I'm an artist, so it's kind of easy. I just kind of did it real quick, and it doesn't have to be pretty. Just have to understand and have call outs and stuff.
Right.
And then you kind of just go get it filed, and once it's filed, it's in line. So once you file it, it won't get passed for probably a couple of years, but it's pending.
Okay.
But it's really not like a couple $100 starting LLC.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. JP LLC.
You down with J? Yeah, I guess that kind of works. Okay.
JP Dubs.
I feel like we can. I feel like honestly, I'm kind of on the spot. I feel like I can come up with a way better name than JP Dubs. I think. I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out.
Warren Enterprises.
That kind of sounds like evil. You know what I mean? Warren Enterprises.
Enterprise. Yeah, I guess it does.
Have you
taking over?
Yeah, it's like what's that show?
Pinky and the Brain.
The Boys. Oh, Pinky and the Brain's great. Yeah. No, actually, my daughter, who's 7, actually got into Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, good for her.
It's kind of cool, like looking at old cartoons, like that you used to grow up on, like with your kids.
Yeah, and your daughter could be watching it, and you're sitting kind of behind her, watching the TV, just like, I'm so proud of you, sweetie.
Pinky and the Brain's got a lot of like subtle context, like adult jokes.
Yeah,
that's what I've noticed.
It's like the diet Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the watered down, fizzled, like exactly. The hallmark Ren and Stimpy, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay, let's get back on track. So let's get back to the old tangent. Kids, let's not talk about that. So you're at Encore Permian operating right now, VP of Ops. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that was formed.
It was formed. So the original founders, J.P. Smith and Josh Lorenz, they were part of Petrolima.
Okay. And
I'm not sure of all the background there. I'm still learning the whole deal. But they started Encore Permian, and there's a couple different entities to that. But the Encore Permian operating is the one that we are operating their assets right now, and we're part of the team. Obviously, we're on. We work for Encore Permian operating. And man, they're great. They're great people.
So you couldn't find any issues or anything like that? Okay.
No. Yeah, and these, you want to vet everything you can, up front. But man, it was like, man, this is great. Like these guys are good people, great team. Just you feel warm and welcome around them, and they're not overbearing. They're like, man, we're excited for y'all to join the team. Like, come on and like do your thing. For us as the ops team. Yeah. And there were 3 of us that came from Lux.
And so you kind of know each other. You've worked together. You have a little culture already. Okay.
Yeah. And so Ted, our COO, him and JP knew each other kind of from the past few years. They did a BD kind of big poker tournament that's out West Texas every month, and we're going to actually start that back up again.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You probably do. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
I think Mike, Mike Tesseri with not Q, I'm sorry, it was Iron Orchard. I think he was talking about doing that. And I think Russell Rankin.
Russell.
Yeah. Okay. I know what it is.
So Ted kind of headed up the one at Lux, and man, it got big. We'd have like 60 people going. We'd have, I think, 3 to 4 Texas Hold'em tables and a blackjack table with formal dealers. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
And tables that said company names. We got some coming too with Encore, so we'll be doing a BD deal out there once a month. That'd be fun.
That's awesome. I miss industry stuff like that. Like, I love our industry. I love the people in it. I love just the characters that we have and the friends we made. And like this year, obviously it's a long week, whatever you want to call it, but like this is canceled. This is canceled. We're not doing this. It's just like you miss those things. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. It's all, like you said earlier, like you got to have fun. I mean, the world right now is depressing. Everything's canceled. Yeah. You know, living in Austin, I'm like, South by Southwest and, every concert and everything. There's no music right now. Yeah. It's like, dude.
Yeah, and then if you go, it's kind of like, you go to a restaurant and it's not the same. You know, it's more scarce. The tables are like this. Everyone takes masks and sanitizer. So like, I used to go to restaurants and enjoy myself. Now it's just kind of like, it's all in your face again.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, and it's uncomfortable too because like a waiter or waitress may not care about the mask, and like I feel bad personally if they want to wear it, great, but if they feel uncomfortable and like don't want to, or if they don't believe they need it and stuff, like I almost want to say like you can take that off. Like one of our receptionists that works in our building, she I walked up to the desk and I didn't have mine on, and she like went to grab hers. I go no, like you don't have to do it for me. And she's like, oh great, okay, good. Like
I think that's kind of what it is, because I mean you see all this stuff on social media about everyone kind of getting like their asses kicked by not wearing one by these people. It's a weird thing right now.
Yeah, no, it is, and we're all people, right? I mean, we got we have immune systems. I guess I don't want to go too deep down this road, but we all have immune systems.
Take us there.
Take it. Yeah, here, give me the keys. Get in. No, but I don't know how to say it without.
I'll tell you what. Let's pause on that. Let's just keep plowing, and then if we need to go back, we'll go back on that. All right? But no, it's like it's not enjoyable anymore. I mean, and the food isn't as good. The set, I mean, it's not the same, and like you can't understand what people are saying. I don't know. I just think you can't smile at people. It's just like it just kind of brings everything to like a weird like.
The smile thing's huge.
I'm a huge like no teeth smiler to a stranger. Like. Mm-hmm. The standard move.
Yeah. Now it's just nothing. Eyes. You have to smile with your eyes now. So everyone's going to get crow's feet in 10 years. It's so bad.
And just squint, pretty much. So anyway, speaking of that, that's kind of what I get into right now. It's like kind of during this time, what shift in your personal normalcy, I guess, have you kind of had to deal with, and how are you adapting to it all? It sounds like you're kind of over the mask thing.
Yeah. So actually, in March, I talked to my wife about it when all this stuff started happening. I turned to her, I go, this is BS, like this will be BS, this whole thing, and obviously the disease is real, but everything, I feel like everything is BS with everything in the.
It's what the news wants to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So we're really on high alert on that stuff. We got some extreme water filters at the house, Berkey's one of them out there and stuff, but we're like, heavy metal detoxes, like we're trying to get everything that, I know this sounds crazy, but it we feel good after doing it, and stuff like that. So we're really on high alert for a lot of those things out there, and we're just happy that our kids can go to school and just have a normal.
Are they
kid
in school
life.
now?
Yeah, they're young. My daughter's 2.5, and my son's almost 5, but they're doing like partial weeks.
Kids need that, man.
Yeah, especially the statistics too on the kids. It's so low, and there's no like super low.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes to it. I mean, just as you said, is it real? Yes, it is real. I mean, yeah, it is. But is the reaction worth the risk?
Yeah.
And I don't have an answer for that. I might have an answer for that later, and we're sitting around having a bourbon. But is the reaction worth the risk, or has it been?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you see all this other stuff, depression, suicides, alcoholism, drug abuse, whatever it is, and it's just kind of, and then also people can't go to their jobs.
Yeah. And everything is just another level of towards depression, like things that could trigger depression in some people, and some people it doesn't, but a lot of people it may. And I think this whole deal's bad.
Dude, then you got the time change. It gets dark at 4 p.m. You think I'm not a depressed dude when it's dark at 4 p.m.? I hate it, man. I hate it. There's only one good like time during that like darkened time. It's like Christmas time.
Yeah.
So you can check out the lights.
Yeah. Oh,
So anyway, what else? How else are you adapting?
Yeah. So the water deal. I'm definitely focusing more on family. Like that's always been a priority, just because it's so easy to get wrapped up in anything else, like work, especially when we're grinding this hard on assets and wells and things. But focusing on family. Like tomorrow, taking wife and 2 kids. We're gonna go camping.
Cool.
I'm Clark Griswold this weekend.
Well, it's perfect.
Daddy.
It's perfect weather out.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, 59 low, maybe 60, but say 59 to like 78. It's gonna be perfect.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so you wake up in the morning, you're all bundled up, and it's like maybe
Snug
60.
as a bug in a rug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So 4 of us in a tent. That'll be fun. We're gonna do s'mores and cast iron skillet food. It's gonna be awesome.
But the thing is, though, like, people are like, I've heard people say, one byproduct of this, like, yeah, I get to spend time with my family, and that's a huge thing. I mean, I know some people that, they'll work, 80 hours a week, and they won't see their kid grow up or they miss certain things, and now they're actually like, yeah, it's been kind of cool getting to know my kid or getting to know my wife again. It's not bad to be stuck with your family.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's wonderful. I loved working from home. Yeah, the kids are screaming in the background.
Yeah.
We're potty training a 2.5-year-old. Yeah, we are. But it's life, and you get to see it too.
It kind of blends a little bit. Yeah.
It's like it's not work-life balance anymore. It's work-life integration. So it's all together.
Yeah, it's like you look like shit on the Zoom call. I get it. You're up at 2 a.m. with a kid puking. You're not in the office. So it kind of does bring like the knocking people off their pedestal and kind of making it real. Like, okay, your shit's not together, mine isn't either.
Yeah.
But we can still work together.
Like, or the blurry background.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're not in the mountains. Come on.
Trying to add some fun to this, Barbara.
Yeah.
So is that kind of all? Camping, family.
Yeah, I'd say focusing on family. We're getting more involved at the church in the neighborhood. They've opened it up where you can just go. Masks mandatory, which is great. Especially in the city of Austin, it's a little different than other cities in Texas. So we're like, yes, I can just go to church.
Dude, I've missed. Streaming church at the house.
Yeah.
Not the same.
No, it's not. Hearing the music, just looking at people, saying hi in person,
Well, to me, when you go to church, you leave with like this kind of like this energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of there, everyone's worshiping, it feels good,
Yeah.
And like you just don't have that, in your living room sitting in your PJs at 2 p.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, like in our pastor, I'll walk. He's at the door walking in. I'll be like, knuckling, like, pound it, dude.
Yeah.
Good job, kill it today, and stuff. And like online, you won't see that. You'll just see the message, and you won't have that personal. So.
No, it definitely brings it to a different level.
But what's cool is all of these, Zoom, Teams, Google Meetups, whatever method. It's cool because now it's almost like there's no more phone calls. Like, hey, let's have a phone conference. You're actually, like, for stuff that would have been a phone call.
Yeah.
Now it's a I see you phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of changed. It's almost the new norm in, I don't want to say all senses of calls, quote unquote, but you know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, why did you call me with your screen? Like, I don't need to see you right now.
Well, think about this, man. If you and I just met, which we just did today, and next thing I know, and I FaceTime you, it's not going to be weird for you. Versus, back in February, be like, what the hell
why
is this guy doing?
Yeah.
But now it's like, hey, man, it's kind of normal now.
Yeah. Sometimes, my buddies will, this was back then, 6-8 months ago, my buddies would FaceTime me, like, why is he FaceTiming?
Yeah.
Just call me. Or
Yeah.
just text me, dude. But now it's like, that's the thing.
Why aren't they FaceTiming me?
Yeah. Jetsons style.
Why aren't they doing this? So what we kind of talked about this a little bit. What common myth in the oil and gas industry that you feel is there, and can you disprove it, or do you want to just talk about it? I love talking about myths and perceptions and conspiracy. Like, I love that. So like, what kind of perceptions do you think we have in the oil and gas industry that just are flat out false?
Like kind of the machoisms, showing that you have to know what you're doing. You don't have to know what you're doing. I do this. I've done this a lot actually at Encore. I'm straight out of the gate. Hey, this is my blind side. You gotta know your blind sides, because you gotta get the right people to cover that. Because you can't, as a leader or just a team member or whatever, you've got to know your limits and everyone else's limits on the team too, whether you're managing across, up, down, you know. So I'd say a myth is like, you know, maybe people don't think that everyone knows everything, but a lot of times people make sure that they want people to know they know everything, and that, I don't know.
I don't know anything.
Well, yeah, that's great. Me neither.
I really don't. Yeah, no, that the big egos.
Yeah, you know, and I guess that's any industry, but I feel like oil and gas, is a lot of that. You know, the macho-ness, it is, you know, it's a very macho kind of, you know, field guys. It is just a big myth. A lot of those guys, just normal guys, you know.
That's kind of been the purpose of this podcast. It's like, I mean, there's a lot out there right now. We're telling the stories about I'm seeing a lot of podcasts that are kind of diving into like the personal side of people. And I love the fact that it's like, as I said before, we got so many cool people, so many great friends and family. And it's I love showcasing the person behind the position. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And being sensitive, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to have feelings. It is, you know. We've had some, you know, say we in my career so far, we've had a lot of like shakeups, you know, and you know, people, you know, deaths. This is over the past 10 years, but like deaths and people's families and just people having bad days. Like it's okay to, you know, hey man, let's talk, or you know.
Yeah, so it's okay to be upset about something. Like it's a natural human emotion. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna think less of you if you're hurt by something if you get. Whether you're screwed out of a job, a position, or something's going on in your home life, it's all right to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, we're all human, and there's stuff going on in everyone's lives that's not work related. So hey, let's talk about how you're doing. And
dude, I've personally made some of my best connections when I'm going through the toughest times of my life. And like I'll be at a lunch with a customer, or I call them frustomers, but like I'll be at lunch with them, and they're like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm like, honestly, guys, this is going on. Like I kind of like it sucks. I'm like, and from there you kind of because you're showing vulnerability, like you just start making those relationships, and they're actually more beneficial and deeper.
Yeah, you get deep rooted with those conversations.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a few guys that I get in kind of real deep with that. We have lunch every once in a while. They come in town here. There's not a huge energy base here, but there is. But we have some real deep conversations, like stuff that you would say in like a church men's small group, you know.
Yeah.
And it's cool, you know.
It's nothing's bad about that.
Yeah.
It's okay to kind of peel back the curtains and show your vulnerability, weaknesses, and just kind of talk about issues.
Yeah. No, it's good.
And shit, this day and age, when no one being in offices right now, absolutely talk to people about issues. You know, things are good. Are they? Like, dude, come on. Like, it's not good for me right now.
Yeah. No, that's true. And you know, everyone's got some stuff going on right now. It's different. Everyone's got it different, and people need to just talk about it. But yeah, I guess myths. I guess that's probably.
I think that's a valid point. It's a very like you know, it's you know the you know through those shows like Black Gold, you know, get it done. I don't care what happens.
Yeah, where's their safety guy?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's not like that. I mean, there's pretty smart, pretty intelligent, emotionally intelligent people too in this industry, and it's not just, you know, the 30-year-old, you know, driller on the break, you know.
Yeah, and you know, I don't really have any engineering staff to report to me, but we've got some consultants that work a lot of things for us, and you know, I always ask them, hey, please tell me, you know, if you got stuff going on at the house that you need on your schedule. Because, like, there's 2 and 2 schedule. A lot of guys just say, I'm sticking to the 2 and 2. I'm like, no, man, if you got a game that your son's playing in this weekend, just take off. Like, you know, we'll cover your travel, too. Like, I know it's, you know, your mileage and everything. Just go home, man. Yeah. It's good to see your family, and it's better for everything. So I like to make sure that, hey, guys, you know, each month tell me what's coming up, and we'll black it out on your schedule. And there's no hard feelings. I'm not going to blackball you.
You're not going to punish someone if they want to go to their kid's birthday.
No, not at all. Yeah. And a lot of them are, you know, maybe 8-10 hour drives from the house, and you know, make sure they get home safely. And I call them when they get home, or text them that night, hey man, did you get home? Or just, they're people, you know.
I feel like the old school dinosaur way of like, oh, I miss my kid's birthday. I mean, that stuff I think it's kind of phasing out.
Yeah, and that's good that it's phasing out.
I agree.
Because it's,
people used to wear that as a badge of honor. It's like, oh, you've missed that? Guess what I missed? Oh, cool. That sucks.
Yeah, no, you know, back then it was almost like, hey, your next, well, it's still that way today a little bit, but hey, your next paycheck's in this city, this date.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean,
I pay you from the neck down. What do I call you, a hand or a head? Yeah, it's like, Jesus, dude, relax. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see my family a little bit.
Yeah, give me a couple days to get a house, a
Sorry,
place to sleep.
So what are you kind of excited right now? I mean, we're recording this October 1st, and we're kind of now finally in Q4.
Yeah.
Finally.
I'm excited for pumpkin spice season.
It's been here since August. Where have you
Yeah,
been?
that's true.
What else are you excited
The
for?
candles are coming out and the pumpkins, baby.
Oh, man.
And we just put out the blow up pumpkins like 2 days ago. My kids in
Front lawn?
front yard. Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
So you're all about the holidays, the decorations.
Not a ton of decorations and stuff, but like for the kids, yeah. Oh yeah. The blow ups. You know, we do Christmas blow ups and stuff.
What's your favorite holiday with the kids?
Christmas.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Christmas lights and the...
Yeah, this last year we started doing it where we had to wake up at our house. You know, that's the first. Santa can come to anyone's house. You know, if you're there, but it's really cool if you wake up at your own
I
house.
agree. That's the memories right there.
Yeah. So we're doing that now, and our daughter's at the age now where she's gonna really know what's going on. She was like, "Oh, cool, like toys," but now it's gonna be like, "Oh, what Santa came? What's?"
Well, if you are listening, Santa will come.
Yeah.
Because he's real.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I said he's coming. It's cool. They got to be good though.
Man,
and Elf on the Shelf too. Is
oh, I
watching.
know. I'm all about Elf on the Shelf. I am a lazy holiday type of guy. Like if the lights are going up, like I'm gonna bring the Christmas lights down when I bring down like the Halloween stuff. And if the lights go up, I want to leave them up to at least spring break. You know, because number one, I like Christmas lights. Number two, I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to take them down.
The attic door is like it's like an one in, one out. It's
Yeah.
like an elevator.
And you only get like 2 or 3 times a year to go in there. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
There's more roaches stuck to the sticky tape than last year.
We'll just use them for Halloween. We'll just use that for Halloween. What are you anxious about though right now? I mean,
I'm anxious just about the industry. It's election year too, but I can't control any of that, and a lot of us can't. We as a country can. That's a plug.
Yeah.
You know, let's make. Come visit Austin. Make Austin great again.
dude, Austin's kind of like my wife and I came in here last night.
Yeah.
And we were walking around downtown, you know, and I haven't been here in quite some. I mean, I've been here, you know, but I haven't been in downtown Austin. It is changed dramatically. And I'm not just talking about the skyline changing. I'm talking about like, I guess it's from COVID, obviously, but there's not a lot of people on the streets. And like you walk by all these buildings and there's like chairs against the window, all this dust inside on the windows. Kind of looks like a post-apocalyptic scene. It's weird.
Yeah, and that's, you know, the culture in Austin's a little different than other cities in Texas. You know, awesome city, but yeah, that stuff, you know, that'll get a hold of the city, and it's there's a lot of stuff that's going on downtown.
And then you're seeing, I mean, honestly, like I don't have a stance on this, but this is observation, but you're seeing by the river too. I mean, there's tents of like cities.
Yeah.
Of homeless people.
Yeah, city.
know?
Yeah, and underpasses.
It's horrible. I'm not saying it's horrible that I'm just saying like it's sad for it, but it's just like it's insane how much like it's gone from like maybe 110 or to it's just.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of drug use down there too. I mean, like that should be, you know.
Should be a focus.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. I mean, I understand, you know, homelessness. Some people prefer to be homeless. That's awesome. Do your thing, you know. But I mean, the drug thing, you can't do that.
You gotta watch out for. Yeah, then the next thing, stuff follows.
Yeah.
That. So what's been your favorite city so far to live in?
I'd say Austin for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you live downtown? Or you live kind of on the outskirts.
Kind of near here in Steiner Ranch.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay.
West side out in the hills and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good area.
The back of our neighborhood has access to Lake Austin, and then if you leave the front of our neighborhood, right there's Lake Travis. So it's just like boom, boom. It's awesome.
Ideal.
Yeah. So you know, San Antonio to Midland to Austin. So like Hill Country to West Texas, back to Hill Country, but with water this time.
Right.
That was like oh my gosh, we have water now.
And hills.
Yeah, and hills. You know. So you know, there's more stuff to do outside here, and it's way beautiful.
It really is. So are you speaking of this? I kind of want to let's get into the good stuff. So, so I was actually, as I said, this is the first time I met Tyler, and we never actually spoken on the phone. I think I called you, and we just never connected.
I didn't answer on purpose.
I know that, and I'm bringing that up, but trying to help you out there. But no, it's cool. Like he was asking me, you know, what was the intro and the outro song on Around the Rotary, and I was telling this to my wife, Monica, who is a musician, and next thing I know, I get a random, absolutely. Next thing I know, I'm getting a random text message with a little sound file, and it's from Tyler, and it is the intro song, but in his style. And so I asked him today to bring your guitar. Ooh. Hold on, let's strum it again. That's good. All right, so I've asked him to kind of come in and like just jam out, man. This is the personality behind the position.
Oh yeah,
okay?
yeah. This is the left brain, whatever's a creative brain.
I'll tell you what. Let's talk about music after. I want to hear what you got right now.
Okay, so this is your wife Monica wrote this, right?
Yes.
Okay. I hope she wasn't offended that I kind of.
No, she loved it, man. You got your own style, dude. She loves it.
Okay.
And welcome to another Round the Rotary with a dude. That was awesome, man. Like seriously.
No, man, it's.
So you kind of got your own style with that too. A little more bluesy, a little more rockish.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I like that. So how long? First off, the fact that you can listen to music and create that is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Have you always been able to do that?
Just listening. That's how I kind of learned. I started with a classical guitar teacher, and he started teaching me at the end of each lesson, like as like a dessert. He'd be like, "Hey, I'll teach you a metal song." Be like Rage Against the Machine, and I'll be like, "Okay, cool." And I would look forward to that. And then I ended up saying like, "Okay, done with the classical. Like, I'm gonna not do lessons anymore." And I've just started playing and listening, and I
Just
basically
figuring it out.
Yeah, I used to be able to read music real briefly, and then I just stopped doing the classical thing.
Yeah.
But listen and learn it.
Is that the only instrument you play?
Yeah, I want to learn piano, and I want my kids to learn that because
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good like gateway instrument.
That's what they say. It's a gateway instrument.
Yeah.
If they do that, they can get into anything. It's dangerous.
Is that good or bad?
I'm lobbying against pianos. So when did you start playing?
When I was 13, and this guitar I have here today, I only have two guitars. This was the first one I got, and my grandfather gave it to me. He passed shortly after, but he gave me this guitar because he goes, "Hey, when your dad," so my dad, when your dad was a kid, I had a guitar, and when he was born, I sold it to get a crib. So, and then he bought this in the 80s and said, like, he's going to get back into it.
Guitar?
Yeah, well, no, it's a different guitar.
Okay.
But he was like, man, I'm going to get back into it. And he bought this and then said, you know what, I'm just going to give it to you, Tyler. And that was when I was 13, when I was like, was it 2000?
So did you bring the guitar around in like college, like the parties? You're like, okay, sorry, here's Wonderwall. Like, was that you? Was that you?
If I'm going to play Wonderwall, I got to tune it out of Monica's tuning. She's got some cool tuning stuff going on here. But I take that back. We'd always like go party at LSU and then come back at like 2 or 3 a.m. and then like hang out,
Tyler, get the guitar, man.
drink the water, before bed, and like
Straight water.
straight water, and just like hang out, play Guitar Hero, but then like, hey Tyler, play this song, we play. So
So you can just figure it out that way.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you been in any bands or anything like that, or just kind of?
yeah, I was a band, 2 bands in high school.
What were the bands called?
So the first one was more of like a ska punk band. Ska, yeah.
Wow, I remember ska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was short lived, but it
Very
it
short-lived.
was like just fun.
The Mighty Boss Stones.
Yeah.
Weren't they like the front runner of ska?
Yes, yeah, they were. Yeah, the up picking stuff.
Yeah.
And then our name was Centrifuge. So like separate what you want from what you don't want.
You're so oil field, man. Centrifuge.
yeah.
Okay. What? All
Yeah.
right.
So we played a few gigs. It wasn't anything, but that was in high school. And then later in high school, joined another band, and we did like a Audio Slave, Rage Against the Machine, and Breaking Benjamin like cover band kind of thing.
Cool.
We played our like high school talent show and stuff.
What was the name of the band?
We didn't have one.
What would the name of the band be?
So I was thinking about that. Actually, I knew you were going to ask that. There was a guy, we called him Jordy. He was the drummer.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, he's in a band now that's like, I mean, you know, that's actually doing pretty well.
Which band?
I don't even know the name of it actually. So
It's doing so good.
Yeah.
It's actually so underground. I bring this up on podcasts.
It is underground.
It's that underground.
I forget. Yeah.
Jordy, I know you're a listener because everyone listens to this apparently.
We would have called the band like the Jordies or something like that because that was such a unique name. That was a nickname for him, but
Jorts. Jorts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I like jorts.
I got kicked out of a bar in Baton Rouge for wearing jorts.
Why? What were they really high?
I don't know.
No, were they like shortcut shorts?
No,
Like Daisy Dukes?
Oh no, just like knee jorts, dude jorts. I don't know why.
I think
great
it's
style.
Probably someone's probably jealous of that. You know, I mean, like, look at this guy come in like single with a guitar with jorts on.
I didn't have a guitar.
Well, he knows how to play. You probably had a pick, like walking around with a pick, flicking it up like a coin. Oh yeah, it's a guitar pick. I dabble with it.
Leaning up against the truck before I go inside. Yeah.
So what you got? You want to jam something else out?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Let's do it, dude.
Okay. I guess I'll just jump into like Breaking Benjamin. Even though I know there may be a country kind of group listening and stuff like that, but I'll just do this one. But
Be you.
I can't do some of it because I need to retune. That might take a minute, but let me just do part of it.
All right.
Yeah. So y'all
I
know
like that.
Yeah, so cold that was that one.
All right. I like that.
No, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of. Remember that one?
I really want to jump in right now and start singing.
Chop suey.
Yes.
Or there's this one too.
Toxicity.
Remember Aerials? Yeah,
I know that
oh,
song.
yeah.
I absolutely know that song. What? Nuh-uh. I want to. You got any original?
Yeah, but I gotta tune this thing up. Can you like pause this thing or what?
Actually, yeah. Hey, we're gonna go on a quick pause real quick.
Right.
All right, we got this figured out right now. Actually, we don't have this figured out. We've been sitting here for about 10 minutes just jamming out and singing 90s rock and roll songs right now. So, why don't you? Where are you taking us right now?
Okay. I'll just play this real quick thing that made up back like in early college.
So
I
this is
guess.
original.
Oh yeah, this one is, and I can jump into some Rage or whatever you want to do. But. I won't get into the whole thing, but that was kind of the chorus and the verse kind of thing. So,
What's the title of that song?
gosh, I don't even have one. It's funny you say that. So I recorded this with one of the drummers I played with a long time ago, and we recorded 4 songs, and we got the CD back.
Yeah.
CD.
That's huge.
Yeah, and the name of it, there were already names there, and I was like, what? Okay. And I think that was called
Jorts.
Empty or something.
Empty?
I was like,
Oh,
I was like, man, all right, whatever. So I don't even remember if I made that up or someone did.
So you're kind of in the rock and roll. So you dabble in country a little bit. You dabble in blues, but rock and roll is kind of your passion.
Yeah. And there's, hold on, let me do this. Hold on. Hard on the acoustic.
I dig it. It's unplugged.
That's kind of pride and joy, but then I made up my own kind of deal.
Dig it, man.
Yeah.
I dig it. Very nice. I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed. So to you, what would be the greatest what would be the greatest decade for music in your opinion? No, I'm not talking about like, well, the Beatles really no, like to you, what would be like the best decade to like live in to go check out the music?
Live in 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say, the whole hairband thing, I don't really like that a whole lot, but I feel like some of the best like metal and hard rock stuff came out of the 80s.
Well, like what do you mean like the big hair? You talking about like White Snake and Cinderella and stuff like that?
Hurricane,
Warrant.
Yeah, Scorpions.
Yeah.
Rock you like a...
Well, time out, man. We're slow down. Scorpion. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. I'm down with that, man. I grew up listening to like, my dad grew up playing like, the Cars and like Black Sabbath, like the original Sabbath before Dio came in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I love that type of stuff, like Scorpions, big hair, like.
Didn't Tony Iommi lose his fingers?
Yeah, in a bus accident.
Yeah,
he lost the tips of him.
Yeah, and he still played.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. I remember that guitar. I remember that. I think I started playing.
When he was bleeding on it, after he lost his fingers or something, or no?
No.
I thought he like healed a little bit, but it was like, no, I'm playing.
Well, I kind of feel like that's probably what happened. I didn't hear that story, but
like healing,
I'll bet that happened.
6 months probably to heal, like after, or maybe not 6 months, maybe like 2 months to heal after losing your finger without like.
Tony, Geezer, it's also you got to kind of relearn also how to play because you can't.
Oh yeah, if he's missing knuckles.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he had like caps.
Oh, well, like prosthetics?
I think he had prosthetics, which is kind of that's got to be tough because I'll bet the guitar is a lot of feel.
Yeah, so like you'll touch your finger to a fret and you'll feel, oh man, I'm accidentally a little close to the string up from me or down from me, and you just have to. And
the fact
next time you move it,
So what would be your first off? What's your top favorite concerts you've been to?
Metallica.
Okay,
yeah. I've been to like 6, I think.
So how old were you at your first Metallica show?
First show, 2002, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 15 years old. I went to, I don't know if...
What album was that, Load?
No, this was 2 years after S&M came out.
Okay.
Load, I think, was 90, like 5 or 6 or something.
I'm old school.
But it was like 99. S&M, which was one of their, like, that was, I think, their peak. James Hetfield's singing was the best. That's before he blew his voice out. On one of the tours, but anyways, that was the album I loved, and then Symphony was like, dude, this is awesome. Then I started to backlog and listen to all that stuff. Then I saw him for the first time, and I saw him. Linkin Park opened for him, and so did like Deftones,
nice,
and a couple other bands, and Linkin Park actually made one of their albums live in Texas, and it was the concert I was at. I was like, oh, cool, that's cool.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know that. And their album came out live in Texas, and the DVD was in the CD.
Did you DVD? They still have those. Did you? They still have DVDs. JP, what are you doing? Did you find yourself in the audience?
So the first concert, no, but every concert after that, front row pit, except for one. Couple years ago, couldn't, but like literally front row pit or bust now.
So it's Metallica.
Yeah.
And you like being kind of on the front line.
I like to be able to jump in the air in like 4 seconds to fall down because you're like smushed with people. Like,
Dude, how good did Metallica sound their last tour? Like, was that
yeah,
2 years
good.
ago? Yeah, they sounded amazing.
Yeah, saw them here in Austin twice. Once at the X Games.
Okay.
And that was awesome. They set up a side stage, and I saw them at ACL too here.
All right.
But the X Games was cool because we got to see like Tony Hawk and Bob Burnquist.
It just brings everything together.
All the like, remember Pro Skater?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's real. And but there was one thing during the middle of the day. James and Kirk came out and did the national anthem. Like 5 hours before the concert on the track, like around where some of the skateboarding and pipes were going on. And it was like, oh, dude, like it was cool just seeing him in person, and then front row from there. And I still got all the photos on my phone. It was fun,
dude. They sounded really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then I saw, I think, GNR like 2 months later. I was like, get this Midwestern mama who smokes, 30 packs of smokes and eats, bagel bites for dinner and breakfast and lunch off the stage.
There was funny. So there was a tape I watched. A tape of Metallica live Metallica. It was a year and a half in the life of Metallica. That's the name of it.
All right.
Year and a half. And they were opening for Axl Rhodes and Guns N' Roses, and they were reading Axl's demands before a concert. It was like Subi honey and like cubed ham and like to make them sing like this and stuff like that. It was funny.
Cubed ham?
It was on the list. Okay. I watched the video. I didn't write the videos.
I kind of feel like if I was that famous, I'd be doing like random shit like that too. You know what I mean? Like, I want,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, don't give me that. Bring it.
I don't want any red M&Ms in the bowl. I don't want over 1,000 M&Ms in that bowl. So, what would be the top 3 bands that you'd want to go see? Live or dead?
Live or dead. No, okay. I'd say probably Korn. Because they're just real heavy. They do the 7-string deal. They started the super heavy stuff back in the 90s.
I actually saw them before they opened up for Ozzy.
You did?
Back in high school, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be cool to go to Ozfest in general. But
yeah.
I did. I'll answer that question in a second, but I did see one of the bands, Five Finger Death Punch here. It was awesome. That was one of the like heavy bands.
Okay.
I got to see him, but that was cool. That was one of the new
It doesn't
ones.
sound like Yanni. Five Finger Death Punch sounds like a pretty serious concert. Yeah.
So it's Korn, probably Slipknot too, just because it's more of a novelty nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Corey Taylor's an awesome singer.
Yeah,
and
awesome. Creative.
Yeah, a lot of people they're one of the bands that kind of scare off a lot of people, but I think they're super talented.
Well, it's image. I mean, they're doing that for a reason, But I mean, if you actually just like listen to the music and kind of hear what they do, it's pretty creative.
Yeah, well, yeah. They have 3 percussionists. One's a double bass guy. One's a regular drummer. One's a double bass guy, and one's like a cymbal and like random thing. And the random thing is a keg, and he hits the keg with a aluminum baseball bat.
Okay.
And I've watched videos of it and stuff, but it's
sounds soothing.
Pretty creative.
Sounds real soothing.
They put that on sound machines, I think, for kids nowadays.
So you got Korn, Slipknot. What's the third one?
Live or dead. I'll probably do either Led Zeppelin or Beatles. Rolling Stones too.
I think they're alive though.
You said live or dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would do one. Okay.
One of those 3.
One of the classics.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
Pretty good answer. I like that. All right. I dig that.
Yeah.
So you got anything else you want to play or talk us out, or any advice for the audience, or anything that you want to share that we haven't discussed?
Political or non-political?
You do what you want to do, man. I'm not going to get political, but you do what you want to do.
Vote Trump 2020, baby.
That's the political talk right there.
It. Yeah.
All right.
I'll stop there.
All right. Well, that works, man. So, well, man, again, everyone, this is Tyler Thomason, the VP of Operations at Encore Permian Operating. And, man, I appreciate you coming here, jamming out, and kind of giving us your background, just kind of shooting the shit about music and the children's book. I'd love for you to stay in touch with me about that. I'm very interested in that.
It's kind of on pause a little bit because of the workload at work. But
that's fine, man.
Hey, I'll keep you posted.
That's fine, dude.
Get you a copy.
Well, just make sure you write it while your children still enjoy good night books.
Yeah, like, Dad, you finished it when I was like 17.
Dad, I'm 15, man. I don't need a good night story. You don't need to tuck me in too, man. So, anyway, man, I appreciate this. If anyone has any questions or comments or just kind of wants to get in touch with us, you can reach us at roundtherotary at cap-petro.com. Again, that's roundtherotary at cap-petro.com. And I think I'm putting him on the spot right now. He's going to take us out.
Do the ho hey thing.
Come on now. I'm not
That's all I know.
I've been living around I've been sleeping here instead. I've been sleeping in my bed. Sleeping in my bed. I belong with you. Belong to me in my sweet home. I belong to you. You belong to me in my sweet home.
That was good.
All right, man. I appreciate it, buddy. And we'll be grabbing dinner tonight, so I'm looking forward to meeting the fam.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for doing this, dude.